Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. On Wednesday, President Joe Biden announced new plans that address student loan debt, including debt forgiveness for certain borrowers and an extension of the payment pause. Individual borrowers who make less than $125,000 yearly and married couples or head of households who make less than $250,000 yearly will have up to $10,000 of their federal student loan debt forgiven. Those who make less or received a Pell Grant as an undergraduate will have up to $20,000 of their student loan debt forgiven. Nearly 8 million borrowers may receive their forgiveness automatically because the Department of Education has their income information already. For those unsure if the department has their income information, an application will be launched in the coming weeks for borrowers to provide their info. Go to ed.gov/subscriptions to sign up for alerts on student loan forgiveness. After a case of polio was confirmed in New York, a wastewater surveillance program was launched there. Now, Boston health officials say they're looking into possibly launching the same initiative. The Boston Public Health Commission told the Boston Herald that it is exploring options to monitor wastewater for polio, but would need to be granted permission by the CDC first. Wastewater monitoring has been used similarly throughout the pandemic as a way to gauge COVID-19 community transmission and virus levels around the state. After being questioned on polio wastewater testing, the Mass DPH said that COVID-19 is the only pathogen currently being tested in the state's wastewater. While COVID-19 may not be shutting down schools, the effects of the last 2 years are still being felt between social and emotional issues and staffing shortages. Massachusetts is in better shape in comparison to other states when it comes to teacher and substitute teacher shortages, but many are still trying to fill positions. In Framingham, for example, there are 1,037 teachers in the town and 57 vacancies. In Boston, there are 245 teacher vacancies, which accounts for about 6% of teaching positions in the city. The head of the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents, Tom Scott, said most of the vacancies are in specialties that have always been a challenge to fill, as are substitute teachers. COVID-19 is largely responsible as it drove a lot of teachers out of the schools, causing staffing challenges statewide. To deal with this, schools are hiring more counselors and social workers, as well as teachers coming into the school year. The state is still monitoring and reporting health trends on a weekly basis. On August 18th, newly released metrics show that over 117,000 molecular tests were conducted and 8,224 new positive cases were reported in the last week. As of August 17th, 176 people are hospitalized in Massachusetts and 64 are in the ICU. 47 new deaths were also reported in the last 7 days. The town of Braintree also continues to monitor COVID data from the state. In the last week, the town hall reported 44 new positive cases. The town hall website currently shows a total of 11,078 positive cases since the start of the pandemic. There have been no new fatalities reported in 4 months, keeping Braintree's total deaths at 137. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
The COVID-19 vaccine doesn't contain the virus, so you can't get COVID from the shot. You may experience things like muscle aches, fever, or tiredness, but these are most likely signs that your body is building immunity to protect against the virus. Learn more.
Welcome back. Braintree Mayor Charles Kokoris has proposed a zoning ordinance that will prohibit recreational marijuana sales. The proposal comes after the Town Council approved a zoning change earlier this month that will allow non-retail recreational marijuana operation in the town's highway business zones, which the mayor says he has given approval to. Flower Express is seeking to build a marijuana cultivation and processing facility at the location of a long vacant warehouse on Ivory Street next to the Braintree MBTA station. But the catch is there will be no retail sales at this location. In an interview, Kokora said, quote, "We will stay a no community in regards to the recreational sale of marijuana," end quote. Prohibiting retail sales of recreational marijuana will go to the Planning Board for a review before the board makes a recommendation on it to the Town Council. Visitors to Watson Park can track the impact of climate change for decades to come thanks to a 15-foot-long ribbon of stainless steel, which will serve as a measuring stick for the waters of the Fore River. Susan Israel, who designed the sculpture with Jake Shirless, are part of climate creatives whose goal is to install rising water sculptures around the world to call attention to the impact of climate change. The water at Watson Park is predicted to rise from 5 feet at high tide to 5.9 feet in 2030 and 10 feet in 2070. The sculpture is part of a project to stabilize the park shoreline and protect it for the next half-century from rising water levels and coastal storm surge. Conservation Commission member Heather Charles Liss said the sculpture will catch people's attention and have them thinking about the impact of climate change. Braintree police said a confused elderly woman drove her car on the upper level of South Shore Plaza last Thursday. The mall's automatic doors opened as her car approached, so she, quote, "drove in very slowly, took a left, and parked it in front of a retail store," end quote. Police said the woman made it about 60 yards inside the mall, and when officers arrived, she had already come to a stop on her own and was talking to bystanders. The woman met with a mental health clinician and was taken to an area hospital for evaluation. No charges have been filed, but an immediate threat of license suspension has been requested from the Registry of Motor Vehicles. No one was hurt, but firefighters said there were a few startled shoppers. The town of Braintree is launching a Hometown Heroes banner program as a living tribute to the community to honor past and present members of the armed forces. Banners will be displayed on lamp posts throughout South Braintree Square from November 1st through the 30th each year as part of the Veterans Day program. To display a Hometown Hero banner with your veteran, fill out the application with a photo and email it to vfontaine@braintreema.gov. The cost of each banner is $100 and checks should be made payable to the Braintree Veterans Council. Application deadline is September 30th. Statewide Democratic candidates running in the September 6 primary election had a chance to lay out their policy positions and speak directly to voters during a forum held on August 23rd at the Braintree Town Hall. Candidates for Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State, State Treasurer, and State Auditor attended the event, which was broadcasted live by BCAM TV and can be found on Comcast Channel 8, Verizon Channel 26, and on YouTube at youtube.com/BCAMTV. Here's a snippet of what took place at the forum.
I think it's what is going to really be the thing that is a big focus of mine for the Commonwealth as a whole. It will impact every single region because I got into this race because what I have seen repeatedly and what I have lived through is how families consistently are being left behind, are very hard-working families.
Yeah, as we enter the next phase of the pandemic, I think communities are going to need a strong state partner. You know, we're not going back to the way things were before. As we transition to what comes next, we need to be nimble, we need to be agile, we need to be thinking about how COVID showed us the future and how do we take advantage of that.
We're an incredible state. We're at the vanguard of so many issues. We're at the vanguard of so many essential and important causes. We are also the home of so much innovation, iconic companies, incredible institutions and things happening here. But people are being forced to leave because it's getting harder and harder to make it all work.
I am the candidate in this race who has a proven track record of making a difference in people's lives. I know how to use the legal system to get results, to hold bad actors accountable. I will use all of the experience and skills and persistence and passion that I have put into my 23-year career protecting workers' rights to all of the areas of the Attorney General's office touches.
And I think that we need an attorney general who's been in the office, who's been an assistant attorney general, led a division, understands how to use the office effectively to stand up for communities. I also led a team of about 400 lawyers in the Biden administration, agency of 50,000 people and a $12 billion budget. And I mention that because the attorney general's office is a big government agency, and it's really important that we have an attorney general who's ready on day one, particularly in this moment when the Supreme Court is undermining our rights. This is not a time for on-the-job training.
The Braintree Town Council approved Town Clerk James Casey's early voting schedule for the September 6th state primary election at its Tuesday night meeting. Braintree voters will now be able to cast their ballots in person from August 27th to September 2nd in the Cahill Auditorium of the Braintree Town Hall. For early voters, hours will be Saturday, August 27th and Sunday, August 28th from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. During the week between August 29th and September 2nd, early voting hours follow suit with the Town Hall's normal operating hours. Voters will be able to go to vote between 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, or from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. on that Friday. For more information, visit braintreema.gov. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Are out. Protect yourself from mosquito bites and the illnesses they can cause, like Triple E and West Nile virus. When outdoors, use an EPA-approved repellent and wear protective clothing. Learn more at mass.gov/mosquitoes and ticks.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Last Friday, the MBTA's 30-day shutdown of the Orange Line began, causing a huge headache for commuters. Officials say they can squeeze work that would have normally taken 5 years into the 1-month work period. Planned projects include track repairs to eliminate slowdowns, upgrading signals, replacing infrastructure, and repairs or upgrades at various stations. The 11 miles of the Orange Line from Oak Grove to Forest Hills closed last Friday at 9 p.m. and is scheduled to remain closed until 5 a.m. on September 19th. Some streets are being closed or effectively cut in half to create dedicated lanes for the shuttle buses, and curbside loading areas have also been designated for shuttle buses. Motorists have been warned to expect heavy traffic increases, especially on roadways along the shuttle bus routes. This week, parts of the MBTA Green Line will also be closed for 28 days. The Green Line shutdown from Union Square to Government Center will allow the MBTA to perform final phase construction work necessary to open the Medford branch. Shuttle buses will also be offered to replace Green Line services. A statewide campaign to curb drunk driving kicked off last week with police across the state mounting special DUI patrols that will be taking place over the next few weeks. The annual Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign targets the end of summer season when many people are celebrating the end of summer around Labor Day. About half of the more than 500 fatal crashes that occurred over the 2020 Labor Day weekend involved drivers who had some level of alcohol in their blood, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration data. MassDOT said in a news release, quote, "This annual campaign is strategically scheduled to take place at the end of August and the beginning of September, when individuals may choose to join end of the summer and Labor Day holiday festivities. State and local law enforcement across the Commonwealth will also mobilize during the campaign to conduct enforcement operations related to impaired driving." End quote. Former Boston Red Sox star pitcher Bill Lee collapsed in the bullpen while warming up for the Savannah Bananas amateur team last Friday night. The 75-year-old pitcher needed assistance as he walked off the field. Savannah team president Jared Orton said, quote, "He was able to leave the stadium with medical attention and was taken to a local hospital," end quote. Lee, a member of the Red Sox Hall of Fame and fondly nicknamed Spaceman, was in the right field bullpen when the episode occurred. Lee has pitched for the Bananas, a collegiate summer league who play in the Coastal Plain League. The club is known for its bright yellow uniforms and entertaining antics on and off the field. In 14 seasons with Boston and Montreal, Lee went 119 and 90. Paul Veneto, the man who pushed an airplane drink cart 230 miles from Boston's Logan Airport to Ground Zero in New York last summer, will now follow the route of another one of the 4 planes involved in the 9/11 attacks, honoring a different flight crew. Last year was Veneto's first push as he honored his fellow flight attendants on United 175, one of the planes involved in the 9/11 attacks. While last year's trek was originally planned as a one-time event, Veneto said the people he talked to along the route inspired him to keep going. His goal now is to eventually cover the routes of all 4 flights. This year's push will benefit Operation Homefront, a nonprofit organization which provides financial assistance to military families in need. To learn more on Operation Homefront, you can visit operationhomefront.org, and to learn more about Polly's Push or to donate, visit pollyspush.com. If you like biking and care about social justice and the environment, Bikes Not Bombs' 35th Annual Bike-A-Thon is the event for you. On Sunday, September 11th, riders will depart from Stony Brook Field in Jamaica Plain and ride on 10, 30, 50, or 100-mile routes. There will be rest stops, food, and route markings along the way. A fantastic lunch and live music will be provided after the ride. You are helping Bikes Not Bombs use the bicycle as a vehicle for social change in Boston. For more information and to register as a rider or volunteer, go to bikesnotbombs.org. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Protect yourself from mosquito and tick bites. Use an EPA-approved repellent anytime you're outdoors. Spray it on your hands first, then spread it on your face, neck, arms, and legs. Learn more at mass.gov/mosquitoes and ticks.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's some new binge-worthy show and new movie recommendations. First in entertainment, stand-up comedy sensation Joe Coy stars in Easter Sunday as a man returning home for an Easter celebration. The movie is based on Joe Coy's life and experiences and stand-up comedy. Joe, a comedian, struggling actor, and a single father struggling to have a presence in his son's life, decides to take his son Junior with him to his family's Easter Sunday celebration for the weekend. His Filipino-American family is chaotic yet loving, and Joe needs to find a way to fix their problems and bring the family back together again. You can watch Easter Sunday in theaters now. Next in entertainment, from director David Leitch comes Bullet Train starring Brad Pitt as an unlucky assassin who's determined to do his job peacefully after one too many gigs has gone off the rails. Though his latest mission puts him on a collision course with lethal rivals from around the globe, all with connected yet conflicting objectives on the world's fastest non-stop train through modern-day Japan. You can watch Bullet Train exclusively in theaters. And finally in entertainment is Luck, the first animated feature from the new upstart studio, Skydance, tells the story of Sam Greenfield, who is the unluckiest person on Earth until one day she finds a lucky penny and her luck turns. That is until she flushes it down the toilet, literally. In an effort to get her good luck back, Sam suddenly finds herself in the never-before-seen land of Luck, where she must unite with the magical creatures there to turn her luck around. You can watch Luck on Apple TV+. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.